to come on and do a vlog, just kind of tell you the whole story about Maclayne's adoption. She's right here. Hopefully she stays asleep. I've got all three little ones, my two, and then the little girl I babysit. They're all sleeping, so fingers crossed we can make it through. But so on Thursday, December 4th, which was the due date, they admitted the birth mom in at 6 p.m. that night and started her induction. And she was on Cervidil. They did Cervidil through the night just to soften her cervix, and then actually started Pitocin at 8:30 that next morning. When they checked her before they started the Pitocin, she was only like a 1.5, not quite a 2. And so they went ahead and did that, and then at 10:30 they checked her and she was up to a 3, but she stayed at a 3 when they checked her again at 1:30 p.m. on Friday, and she just wasn't really progressing. And Maclayne's heart rate, they wanted to stay between 120 and 160, and hers was up in the like 180s, staying in the 170s and 180s, and she was just in distress. She was not handling it well, and so they decided to go ahead and do a C-section. So, sorry, I'm trying to hear what that was. So they did the C-section. She was born at 5:56 p.m. and my husband and I are so blessed. We actually got to be in the room for the C-section. Of course, my neighbor is going to start blowing leaves right as I try to do this video. But so we got to be in there. His aunt works at the hospital, and she was able to, she's a nurse, so she was able to get us in for the C-section. So we got to stand in there right by the warmer, and so we had our eyes on her from the second she was born, and we got to hold her and take her. She did have to go to the NICU. She was having some breathing issues when she was first born. She wasn't taking deep enough breaths to fully expand her lungs, so they wanted to send her to the NICU just to kind of monitor her. Then her breathing, they irritated her enough that her breathing did pick up and was fine, but she then had a low temperature, so we had to wait. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I feel bad. I feel so stuck. They had to keep her under the warmer, and her temperature would come up, but then as soon as they turned the warmer off, it would drop. Like, she couldn't maintain her temperature. So finally, we were in the NICU for, I think, about 3 hours when she was able to maintain a high enough temperature. She had to get up to 98 degrees. So when she finally hit and stayed at the 98-degree mark, they let her come out, and so we got to bring her to our room because we were able to have the room. As you saw in the video, we had a room from the Thursday night, the whole time we were there, and we got to keep her in our room. We did go, let's see, I'm trying to think. Friday night we did go have a real quick visit with the birth mom. We took the baby Maclayne in there, and we let her see her. She wanted to hold her for a second. She was really sore at that point, so she didn't want us to stay long, but we did visit for a little bit, and then we went back to our room, and they had to take her and try to give her an IV because, I think I forgot this, while the birth mom was in labor, she spiked a fever. She spiked a really high fever, and from what they said, I don't think it's too uncommon, but she had to be on antibiotics, so it was some kind of infection that I guess got passed down to Maclayne, because her white blood cell count when they checked it in the NICU was supposed to be like under 12, preferably under 10. Hers was 42. So she definitely had some kind of infection. So they gave her antibiotics, and they were going to try to set up an IV because they had to do the antibiotics every 12 hours. And so they wanted to just do IV, to leave in to do them. But so they couldn't get it. They tried. Her poor little hands. They poked the tops of her hands, her wrist, her feet. Couldn't get an IV in because her veins kept blowing. So they ended up just doing the shots in her thighs. And so she got those. It was every 12 hours. That first night she did have to stay hooked up to a machine. She had I'm not sure what it's called, but the one that monitored her heart rate, one that monitored her body temperature, and one that monitored her breathing rate. I don't remember what it's called, but just to make sure she was taking enough breaths in a minute's time. So it was kind of difficult that first night getting adjusted to her because she was all hooked up. She had like 5 different little sensors on her chest and stomach. So we had to be careful of those with trying to change her and wrap her up. But it's just been amazing. The whole time in the hospital we went every morning and afternoon, and we would visit with the birth mom. and she's doing great. She is recovering well from her C-section. She was ready to sign, wanted to know as soon as she could do it. She actually signed that Saturday afternoon, and she didn't wasn't like sad or too emotional about it. She mainly was just sore from the C-section and this, incision and all of that. She's doing good. We ended up leaving the hospital at the same time. I think the nurses were kind of unsure as to whether they could let us leave beforehand with the baby. We had to stay for 48 hours anyways, but we were going to be released Sunday evening. And I think the nurse we had, because there were no nurse managers on Sunday nights for the shift, and so I think our nurse was a little hesitant and didn't want to make the call that we could leave with the baby. So we ended up waiting until Monday morning, which, we were ready to get out of there, but in the grand scheme of things, one more night is not that big of a deal. So we left Monday morning. We were discharged from the hospital, and we had left the same time as the birth mom. We gave her hugs, said we'll talk to you soon, and then we came home, and we have been home since then. So that was Monday the 8th that we came home, and things have been going great. Hudson has been doing really well with her. He of course is a 1-year-old, so he does have his jealous moments, and he tries to take her passy, and he's tried to hit her, poke her a couple times, but overall he's been very good. He's very gentle, very sweet. He'll give her kisses, and sometimes he'll put the pacifier in her mouth. So he is just doing very well with it. Sleeping, it's so funny, it's almost like an every other night kind of thing. One night she'll sleep really good, where she'll go 4 or 5 hour stretches and not wake up, and then she will wake up every hour and a half. So you never know what you're going to get as far as sleeping, but she's doing so good. She sleeps a lot during the day, and she's been eating good. We went to her first doctor's appointment last Friday, the 12th, and her weight was down a little bit from what it was. When she was born, she weighed 8 pounds 6 ounces, and when we left the hospital, she weighed 8 pounds 3.5 ounces. When we went to the doctors, she weighed 8 pounds even, so she lost a little more. They weren't too concerned. They said that all babies, lose some weight, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I don't know how she's still losing weight, because she does eat really good and she's not spitting it up. She is ingesting all of it. So we have to go back on Friday for a weight check. So hopefully when we do that, everything will be good and her weight will have started to come back up. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Today is day 11. So today is final. Everything is good. Her 10 days have passed. So she can't change her mind. Not that she was going to. Yeah, so I'm trying to think. We took some newborn pictures this week, so I will have to post some of those when we get them back. They're going to be so cute. I'm so excited. And we're all doing really good. I thank you all for your thoughts and prayers. They were felt, and we truly appreciate them. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Because this is what you all really want, here is some baby footage. Here is little Miss Maclayne. She's in her little bouncer. It's so cute. I love this little outfit. It's from my brother and sister-in-law that let us use it because their little baby has outgrown it. But it's cheetah print in little blue. And let's see if we can get her passy out. She is such a sweet little baby. She's such a good cuddler, and she's been doing so well. She has a head full of hair, lots of spiky little hair that I love to put bows in. But yeah, she is just perfect, and we love her. She definitely completes our little family.